Okay, so Ice Road Vengeance. This is the new film from Jonathan Hensleigh. He writes and directs. Okay. It is produced by Al Corley, Julie Goldstein, Eugene Musso, Lee Nelson, Shivani Arat, Bart Rosenblatt, and David Tish. It's executive produced by Lisa Wilson, Miles Nestor, John Leonetti, Connor Flanagan, Jonathan Dana, and David Bulow. Okay, so it is co-produced by Alan McAlex, with line production from Paul Walton, Ram Krishna Pokharel, and Ashwani Mishra. The score is from Michael Yezareski. Tom Stern took care of the cinematography. Stevie Ray is the casting director. Penny Southgate handles production design. Art direction is Stephen Travaz. You have Catherine Millin on costume design. Hair and makeup is Chelsea Jones, Eliza Langdon, Nellie Pandis, Shiara Tripodi, and Rachel Walton. Okay, dokie. We have got Heather Burridge, Matthew Campbell, Roscoe Campbell, James Davis, Monique Dawes, Grant Fletcher, Adam Kanigizi, Riji Wook, Adam Martin, Christine Ong, Chris Pace, Nuroa Poe, Warwick Sadler, Hayden Stewart, Chris Weir, Kevin Willie, and Don Zander on stunts. So our cast, right, we have got Liam Neeson as Mike McCann. Marcus Thomas is back as Gertie McCann in flashbacks, obviously, people. Right, we've got Danny Yangchan, played by Bingbing Fan. There is Spike, played by Geoff Morrell. Professor Evan Myers, played by Bernard Curry. His daughter Star Myers, played by Grace O'Sullivan. There's Vijay Ra, played by Saksham Sharma. And Vijay's dad, Ganesh, is played by Shapur Batiwala. We got Rudra Yash, played by Makish Chadu. One of his hit people, Jeet, she's played by Amelia Bishop. Got Captain Shankar, played by Monish Anand. Lieutenant Mangul, played by Shivantha Wujenska. Yug, played by CJ Bloomfield. Jurgo, played by Salim Fayad. Banda, played by Kadeen Hatcher. That is probably our main lot of people, I would say. The gist of the story: Mike travels to Nepal to scatter his late brother's ashes on Mount Everest. When Mike and his mountain guide encounter mercenaries on a tour bus, they are forced to fight to save themselves, the passengers, and the local villagers' homeland. So yes, that is the gist. I mean, Ice Road. I think we looked at Ice Road on the podcast a couple of years ago. And after that film, I don't believe anyone was saying, whew, we need to get back and see what Mike is up to now, right? No one was calling for a sequel, but they made one, right? And, I was low on films for part one. Just release dates change and things like that, so then you're stuck and it's just like, fuck, what shall I throw in? And this popped up and I was like, okay, why not? Why not? And I think after watching Liam Neeson in Naked Gun, you're like, okay, right, he hasn't completely forgotten how to act. So, it gives you a little good faith on Neeson. And this completely takes it away. This film takes it away and then some. He's now in debt because it's just tough. It's a tough watch, right? It's weird because they keep on alluding that Gertie died on duty, right, in the war. But we know he didn't, which is bizarre, right? It's a bizarre thing they're doing with the flashbacks. You're just like, wait, what are they trying to say here? It's so weird, right? And just the way the film starts lets you know this is gonna be straight nonsense, right? Because we've got Mike climbing a cliff, right? He's outdoors rock climbing and he's got the harness and everything and he's going up and the rock starts to break and there's a bit, the rock starts coming down. A boulder kind of makes him jump off the cliff a little bit, but he's all right, roped up, harnessed and everything like that. So he gets back on the cliff and then he's like, you know what? And he unhooks himself from the harness, takes off his backpack and just scales the cliff on his own. He goes free solo. And you're just like, what kind of nonsense is this? It is, and the thing being, right, where we see Mike on the cliff, he gets up there so quickly, and you're just like, it's hard even when you've got you're tied in. You've got your rope and everything. It's hard. But to go, without the rope, he's going to scale it even quicker is nonsense, right? Especially if you're saying the cliff is all crumbly, right? That makes finding the handholds and everything like that super tricky. And you're going to be cautious. You're taking your time. And it's just like you're tired, right? It's the fatigue in your arms and everything like that you have to ponder with these things, The other thing that is so so like crazy about all of it, people. I'm telling you, right? Okay, so we have Mike, right? He's climbing this cliff and he's gone free solo. He's climbing the shift. He's climbing the cliff in a button-up shirt, right? Like, now there's not a uniform for rock climbing, right? There's not a uniform, but you are climbing in just clothes that allow you to move and function and stretch, and you know what I mean? You're not wearing a button-up shirt. That is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And we have to factor in, right? So you're hugging a cliff when you're climbing, right? Your body is in contact with this cliff. Now, he's fallen off, he's stumbled, all of these things have happened. But he is just head to toe, fresh to death. There's no dirt, no grime, nothing. Clothes look like they've just been bought. And then when we see him at the top of the cliff, still the same. Right? Not disheveled, nothing. It was such a dumb, it was so dumb. I had to get in contact, because I've rock climbed, right? But I'm not like an expert. Now, one of my friends, right? She is like, man, she's a G, you feel me? Right? Her and her husband climb all the time. And so I hit her up after, and I just tell her about this, and because it was so ridiculous, I had to be like, "Yo!" So just that on its own made me go, "Oh boy!" So we then have him going to like Nepal to, do these ashes, but he's got the ashes in an urn, and he's got the urn in his fucking carry-on, and it's just kind of like, it's 2025. It's 2025, motherfuckers. No one is gonna think that they could carry an urn in hand luggage, right? The metal detector, there's all of them things. It's stupid. It's like, we just keep on doing these stupid things in the film. Right, so we have that. Right, so, but now we've got to this coach that he's getting on. And, he meets Danny, his tour guide, right? And they go to the coach. His bag gets knocked off by this girl, but he doesn't react in any sort of way. Now, the ashes are in the bag, and you're not like, "You knocked my bag," like, "Oh, go to pick up the bag." Like, there's nothing. It's just bizarre. It's very bizarre. And the girl's Star, right? The way we meet Star is so odd, right? It's a complete 180 to then how she is the rest of the film. And people don't do that. Not in a short space of time. Now, you can, rein it in a little, right? But you're still, some of that bullshit's still coming out. But they have her as a completely different character. Again, a bizarre choice. Right? A bizarre choice. We call it Ice Road. There's only one real bit with an ice road. It's baffling. right? The choice of continuing Mike's story is odd, but also having it set in this, in Nepal and not really ice roads, right? It's just, it is the thing or it isn't the thing. Like, do something else. And the thing, it's not a story that is like, whoa, I'm so glad they told. Right, it's a rehash of so many other things that makes you go, so what was the urgency here? What was the need to bring this to life? Like, Neeson is wooden as hell. So wooden, it's crazy. Right? There's a bit when VJ, yeah, is oh, I get your American sarcasm. He's like, it's Irish sarcasm. And you're just like, oh God. What are these lines? Like, the dialogue is horrendous. The dialogue is bad. Just all the interactions are just like, we have this interaction between what's it, Dr. Oh my days, what's homie's name? Dr. Myers. Well, Professor Myers, right? We have this interaction between him and Ruda Yash. And it's just like, again, it's 2025. I feel we know what a lot of scenarios bring. And especially in the supposed role Myers is in. Because that's there's no real character development. And then all of a sudden, this dude is meant to be this thing. And you're just like, oh, okay. Like, that came out of the blue, right? But even that, right? You're like, fine. But with this thing should come an understanding. So we just get this stupid interaction that you're just like, I mean, that makes no sense. There is a very high degree of, what's the word? Like, just chance. It's not the word I'm thinking of, but, right? Where everything happens just at the right time. Like, they reach a door just as a noise occurs, right? There's just so much of that happening in the film that you're just like, come on. Like, really? We're doing this? And I think one of the... Oh, a gut wound. That's all I can say about that. But a gut wound. Firstly, that's going to be so painful. That's going to inhibit so much movement and so much of what you can do. Secondly, blood. Right? There's going to be blood. There's going to be a lot of blood. So there is that. But I think one of the most egregious things in this film is the supposed love, romance that they keep on hinting at between Mike and Bingbing fan, right? And Danny. You're just like, really? That's what we're doing? Liam Neeson is 73. Bingbing Fang is 43. It's a 30-year difference. Why the fuck is she going to be jonesing after Mike? Right? And also, there's nothing in the film that even gives you a reason for why. Right? Whenever I see these kind of situations, it always feels like, oh, this was written by an old dude. Right? This is written by an old dude that is just going like, oh yeah, I'd like to meet this young chick. Right? That's always how it comes off, because it's just ludicrous. And obviously, right, we do know there are relationships between older people and blah blah blah. We know that. That's a thing. But every time, and there's a reason because of an interest or something. You know what I mean? There's all these different things. But whenever we see it in these films, there's no rhyme or reason behind it. And Hensleigh's 66. So, you know, it is what it is. But, hey, if you enjoyed the first film, the first film is no, you know, it's no award winner. But if you enjoyed the first film, you may, and I mean really enjoyed the first film, because I didn't, right? But if you did, then maybe the second one's going to be for you. You know? Like, if this is the kind of film that you enjoy, right? There was, oh gosh, what was it called? Wages of War? No, Wages of Fear, I think. I think that was it, right? Yeah. The Wages of Fear. If you enjoyed that also, because it's a similar kind of thing, right? Just think of any of the Liam Neeson, you know, the films that would essentially be straight to video back in the day. Like, if you like those films, you will enjoy Ice Road Vengeance, which is now available on all your favourite VODs.